Do you have enough money? There needs to be a minimum, a threshold level of money. At this threshold, there's enough money to comfortably do what needs to be done. Above the threshold, there's extra cash to invest and spend. The problem is when the money available falls below the threshold, which inevitably means there are difficult issues to be faced and tough choices to be made. How can you raise more money? As an individual, perhaps you take money from your savings or you negotiate to borrow it from a bank. As a startup or existing small business, perhaps you take a loan or you seek investment from your backers. In a larger organisation in the public or private sector, you submit a proposal for extra budget or special investment. In all these situations, you have to make the case and win over the people who can provide more funds. Additional funds will help you to maintain or expand your activities. What needs to happen if you don't have enough money? What if the application for your loan is not approved? What if the investors say no? What if the budget is not increased? What if you're struggling to generate more sales and income? What happens when you reach the situation where your current income can't cover your costs? Cutting costs is not easy. Trimming costs may be possible, but there is a limit to how many times this can be done before you reach the point of death by 1,000 cuts. Many of the big costs for businesses are fairly fixed and hard to change, for example staffing, equipment, energy and accommodation. Even worse, fixed costs tend to rise year on year, making it hard for growth in income to keep pace, and you want to avoid being forced into major cutbacks. Therefore, learning how to increase productivity is essential. We have to get the most out of the available resources. Otherwise, we face the impossible challenge of trying to continue existing activities from an inadequate and worsening resource base. It's a stressful battle that ultimately can't be won, no matter how much wishful thinking there is. Therefore, we need to rethink how best we can use the available resources both now and in the future. Therefore, money can't be the only answer. If we assume that having more money is the only solution, we will be blind to opportunities that could arise from innovation, risk-taking, and smarter use of the existing resources. We may well also assume that we have to keep doing everything we're currently doing, when the most appropriate solution might be to close down some less important activities. Money is not the only answer, but good management of the money we do have is essential. We need to be confident about money. For entrepreneurs, money is not a dirty word. They're confident with money. They know how to create a comprehensive business plan. They don't pluck their financial figures out of the air. They know how to convince investors to come on board. They understand how to generate income and make smart use of their resources by managing their costs, staying in profit, and continuing to meet their expectations of their customers. We need to be more financially literate. In comparison to entrepreneurs, the vast majority of us are financially illiterate. We don't understand money and we lack confidence in financial matters. This undermines our ability to manage our personal financial affairs and our contributions in the workplace. It's not our fault, it's a problem with the education system. Nevertheless, it's not too late for you to improve your own financial understanding and abilities. Then, like an entrepreneur, we will be able to make more informed choices about money. Start with the question, how well do you manage your money?